Hey guys, welcome to Perfect Vocals Academy. This video is about the brand new plugin by Waves called Curves Equator. This is a really exciting plugin because Waves has never had, I guess they kind of had it a little bit with Waves Silk, but they've never had like a straight up resonance suppressor slash smart EQ, and that's what this is. So I think they're kind of calling it the Soothe Killer. So I think they try to just expand on the idea of Oak Sounds Soothe. So far I like it a lot. So if you want to learn the ins and outs and the power behind this plugin, stick around for this video. First off, it looks a little intimidating, but it's not really as complicated as it might look. So this knob here, or the circle that you just grab, this is going to be your threshold. So starting off as a default, it's just going to be a flat line. So there's going to be no curve. This gives you the ability to do different curves. The curves make it to where you're processing some parts of the source a lot and processing other parts maybe not so much. Rule of thumb, what it says in their manual, and it makes perfect sense. Rule of thumb is if you're trying to sculpt it to be just something completely different, maybe it's just really rough, it's not a good source, you're going to want to start with the default curve. So that's simply opening up the plugin and then bringing that down. And then you can also learn, this is capturing the source as it is. So the learn feature is going to be good for just doing some little fine tunings. So if you want to, say, keep the vocal kind of how it is, like you like the energy of it, but there's just something about it that needs cleaned up, something just really subtle, it's a good thing to try out, to just hit learn, hit play, and then captures it. So let's try that first. Say we kind of like how the vocal sounds.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. Mama cry, mama cry.
This is the suggested line.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it's still amazing. You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you...
So very subtle. If you're going for something subtle, that's what it's going to be. So now we're going to try just doing a flat line. Full reset. Let's try this.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to... You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it's still...
Okay, so that makes sense. So when you're bringing this down, the line goes down. The further down this line is, the more it's going to be processing that area. In this situation, say I like the top end of the vocal and I don't want to touch that, I can do something like this, and then it's not going to process that as much.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mom...
See how like up here in the high end, it's really not touching the highs, but then down here it's getting the lows.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived.
And then you have this tilt right here. So tilt like does exactly that. It tilts the whole line. So that makes it real easy to kind of adjust and use your ears as well.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry.
Okay, so as you can hear, it sounds like it's a little too much. So there's a couple things we can do. We could either adjust this tilt, or you can just blend it with the original. That works too. So let's try blending the mix of the dry with it.
You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me. The thing about... You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me. You're so young right now, you don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama... You're so...
Okay, so let's hear before it.
You're so young right now. You
Little
don't know
muddy.
that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me.
Kind of cleaned up that mud a little bit. We can bring the sensitivity down.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry.
Bring it up.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me. The thing about
Important thing to note, you got to click advanced controls to see all this. So make sure you click that. And then notice with advanced controls, you have these crossovers too that you can move around.
You're so young right now.
So what's cool about this is if there's a certain range maybe you want to cut, you can just get this range, kind of like a multi-band compressor, and then just cut here.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day.
So yeah, the farther this line goes down, the more it's going to cut away the bad resonances and frequencies that are causing issues. Hey guys, real quick, if you head over to the description, you will find the PVA Vocal Mixing Toolkit. This is a free gift that includes a video called Melodyne Mastery to learn vocal editing. It includes a pro mixing handbook for your go-to mixing tips, and also a vocal template called Superior Vocals Mixing Template that works for Pro Tools and Logic. Also check out the courses. I got a brand new course called the Complete Vocal Pitch Correction Workshop. This teaches you pitch correction in 3 different programs: Autotune Pro, Melodyne, and Wavestune. So definitely check that out. Now back to the video.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me. You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I...
Okay, we have an output over here. Turn this down.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry.
Yeah, that sounded a little cleaner there. And then you can just not cut as much if you want to do less processing. It's very easy to kind of get carried away. You really want to just A/B a lot with this plugin.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me.
We can use multiple Curves Equator plugins as well. So I'm using that one for the overall tonality of it. I can open up another one to just solve something else. So maybe like use it as a de-esser or something.
You're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me. Ever since you arrived, you don't know the man that you made me. I made your mama cry. I know that I drove her crazy. The fact that she stayed still to this day, girl, it still amazed me. The thing about life is, you're so young right now. You don't know that you saved me.
There's that. Let's go over a few other features we have going on here. I'm going to put one on the beat and use the sidechain feature. This is pretty cool because what it's going to do is we're going to send the vocal into the sidechain here. So we're going to pick an open bus.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark, boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch, and that gift was priceless. No matter the wrongs you...
Okay, so what this is doing right here is as the vocal comes in to the sidechain, this Curves Equator plugin is basically suppressing a bunch of the resonances in the beat in the same area that the vocal is prominent with. So the manual basically states that the sidechain flips the curve. So it's kind of like an invert EQ. The vocal is making a certain curve. It's going into the sidechain, and Curves Equator is basically making space for the vocal.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark, boom, boom. And that's when the light hits.
So you can see like right here in the low mids area, it's really dipping out of the beat because the vocal is prominent in that area.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark, boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch, and that gift was priceless. No matter the wrongs you made.
And then we just adjust this threshold to see how much processing we want here.
It's It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flip the
Okay, so you hear when the threshold's all the way up, the beat got really loud.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch. And that gift was priceless. No matter the wrong.
That's crazy. And as I go down all the way, you can just hear how thin kind of the beat got and how prominent the vocal got. Now that's doing way more than you would, but I just wanted to show you how strong this really is.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch. And that gift was priceless. No matter the wrongs you make, the path you take, my dear daddy is right here.
One thing they said in the manual that I've never thought of this being a possibility, but it's putting Curves Equator on your master and then sending whatever different elements in the mix that you want to be prominent, sending that to the sidechain. What this is going to do is it's going to make the smart EQ and resonance suppression on the master, it's going to make that to where whatever you're sending to the sidechain, it's going to make those elements louder. So in a mix like this, it's going to be the lead vocal, obviously.
It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch. And that gift was priceless. No matter the wrongs you make, the path you take, my dear daddy is right here. It's full of surprises. When everything's dark, search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch.
That's crazy. You hear how the vocal just came forward like that? So that sidechain's got to be on, and you got to be sending the vocal to that. So this is placed on the master fader once again, and we're sending through a bus from the lead vocal to Curves Equator.
It's full of surprises. When
Here's without it.
Search for a spark. Boom, boom. And that's when the light hits. You flipped on my light switch. And that gift was priceless. No.
It's just so subtle, but so clean and so smooth. And I highly recommend this plugin. I don't know the price of it yet, but I guarantee whatever it is, it's going to be worth it. Pretty incredible. Feel free to read the manual on this. A lot of these things are self-explanatory: attack and release, precision, that's surgical or broad with the cuts. You can do mid-side with this. You could do split and linked, limiter, auto makeup, gain. This rider right here, just really quick, this is going to make it to where, kind of like the Waves vocal rider, the input will depend on how it reacts. So say you just want this plugin to just work when the vocal gets kind of hot or something, you can turn on the rider. But if the rider's not on, then it's just going to be one set threshold. If you want this, hit the link in the description to support the channel, and feel free to check out some of my other videos.